What's up, guys? Cwesolo here, and today we're going to be continuing working on the amazing ball. Last time we streamed, I was working on getting the mazes all set up for the new ball, which is currently still in development. I've had some progress since then, so I have now fixed the box collider. We're getting collision. I can show that off right now. Oh, and I also got like other things working regarding the stream too, which is pretty awesome. So I'm very excited about this stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to the second monitor because I should do that. I don't know why that's taking up that much space. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna move that over to my second screen. I'm gonna close that out. We'll move this over. So yeah, we're going to basically just hop right into this, and I'm going to show off what I got here now going on. So let's go ahead and swap this over to the other screen here. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So we are on the game now. As you can see, we did have some, now our ball is registering collision, which is great. And it's only when it actually is touching things. You can't jump right now. So we got to add that functionality still to reset the jump. But this is great. This is actually good progress. You can see that we're getting collision. If we just so happen to bounce, we are receiving that collision from our box collider that is on the ball. So this is a drastic improvement. We're gonna go ahead and crack this open. So I'm gonna actually close that out real quick and get Discord out of here. All right, so here we are. Currently, right now, we are simply for when our overlap begins, we are currently just doing this. This is just debugging it. It's like a debug log. It's just logging it to the screen. I added that to so that way I could know whether or not collision is happening. So collision is indeed happening now. This is a significant improvement. Last time we weren't getting that, and now we are. I don't know what I did different. This should have just been working from the beginning, but it wasn't. But now it is. So yeah, this is great. I'm gonna go ahead. And we're gonna add the functionality to try to reset the jump in, and we're gonna see if we can get it to actually reset. So, so we're gonna go ahead and go down here and on the separate line. We're also gonna try to see if we can get this stuff working here, the pause. Not so much for the gamepad, but for the keyboard at very least. Today, it would be nice to actually finish the ball up. I'm gonna be honest. This is just for the default ball. Adding the sprint functionality would be nice to do as well, but I have to work on how to get a timer for that. I'm not sure how to do that yet. I'll have to do some research on the documentation to see how that happens. Again, I'm not like a master of the API for Unreal Engine yet, so I'm learning it. But I can do C++, so that's what is most important, is that I know what I'm doing, sort of. I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I can look like I know what I'm doing, right? That's the thing. I can look like I know what I'm doing, and that's all that matters, is that I look like I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna plop this jump code in here. So we have a jump counter. We're gonna just simply set that equal to the jump limit. And that's it. That's all we got to do. All this is going to do, because if we look back up at the jump code here, so if jump counter is greater than 0, so whatever our jump counter is, we can check that over yonder, right over here. Our jump limit's 1. So this is actually a public int that is able to be seen within Blueprint. So if we actually go over to our ball here in our Blueprint, we can adjust this. Here's a jump limit. We can adjust this to make it like 5 if we want, or like 10 or 20 or 50. However many times you want the ball to jump, it'll jump that many times. but we need to also be able to reset that. So on the collision here with our, if I go to our thing here and we go to our ball, as you can see, we can, we have this nice little collider. It's a miniature collider. It's kind of above too. I couldn't really get it to be below, just on the one side. So I'll take what I can get, right? And this collider is just going to detect whether or not stuff is touching the bottom of the ball or the top of the ball. I find it very unlikely that stuff's going to be touching the top of the ball, but if something does, it'll reset the jump. But that probably won't happen. Probably. There's no guarantees. So that probably won't happen, and we'll be fine. This will work functionally. This is exactly what I needed. So let's go ahead and we're going to need to compile our code here. So let's go ahead and build this. I really need to get this entire game backed up onto GitHub. Haven't done that yet. Probably should do that. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on stream probably several times, and I still haven't done it because I'm lazy. So we're going to go ahead and build the solution. Watch it go. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. I'm going to have a drink of water while we wait. That was loud. I'm sorry. Do we have any viewers? Probably not. If someone has viewed, hello. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. This is just more for future reference. If you find this entertaining, please do subscribe and hit the like button, hit the bell icon, so that way you won't miss out on any of my future uploads or live streams or whatever these are. I don't even know what these are by this point. I don't know. But we're gonna be here for an hour at least, maybe more, but at least an hour. We're already like, how many minutes into the stream? Like 10 minutes already, and I've done nothing. Whoa! This is a very productive stream. Okay, are you compiling? I think this is still compiling. I think this is gonna take a minute. It might be just literally compiling everything. 4 actions with 8 processes. I don't know what that means, but I take it it's doing something. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. On a side note, strong recommendation if you're working in C++ with Unreal Engine or just C++ in general, it would be a good idea to have your header file open on one side and your CPP file open on the other side. So that way you can change both at the same time. Because you have to include your header file here, because that's how you get all this junk. The C++ linker is such a mystery. It's honestly magic. And the compiler's magic too. If you want to go learn how these things work, just go check out the Cherno's video on the linker and the compiler, and you'll know. The C++ is wonderful. It's also fast. Anyway, do we get jump? We're still not getting jump. Damn it. Okay. We are going to go ahead and we are going to do another log here. We're going to do this. And I want to know, I would like to know on a regular interval, like every second or so, but we can do it when we jump. When we attempt to jump, we're going to go ahead and we're going to just, after our jump, no, before we try to jump, we're going to go ahead and paste that in there, and we are going to pass in the jump count. Jump counter, just like that. We're gonna control B again. What do you mean? I can't pass in a variable to that? I was hoping that would be easier. Okay, how do I do this? I just want to pass in a thing to the documentation. This is always an excellent place to look. Into text, Unreal Engine, C++. I just want to pass it into the text macro. That's what I want to do. Is there an easier way? Can I do just a pointer to it? Pointer to jump counter? No, because that's useless. That'll just get me the address. I just need to know, like, the amount of jumps we have. Granted, I could just do this in Blueprint. That's an option. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. There's times where Unreal Engine likes to be super weird. We're gonna build this one more time to fix the code. I'm gonna minimize this. We are gonna save all. And we are gonna go ahead and exit. And we're gonna restart the project. And see if this works. Sometimes this works. I don't know. Unreal Engine's weird sometimes. If this doesn't work, then there's something wrong. Something isn't working right. And I may want to go look at the documentation some more. Okay. Open. We're going to open those because I want those both opened. Okay. Let's try this again. We are receiving collision. We jump. Bam. Oh my gosh, it works. We have done it. We are getting jump functionality. Okay. This is great. I can remove the debug.log, or that's Unity. I'm sorry. I'm stoked right now. So we're getting jump functionality. Yes. Okay. Let's go all the way. We're going all the way. We're doing 91 jumps. That is how many we're going for, and I want to make sure that we can Will it reset? All 91. I don't even know how many that was, and went very high. Keep in mind that the ball will bounce when you land. This is great. You can now jump very high. This is my intended functionality. This is what I intended for this game. And if we hop on a wall or something, you know, as long as you're towards the middle of it, you're good. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. There's probably going to be some weirdness with it, though, because if you're, like, on the edge, right? Well, I guess in this case, you could just jump as many times as you want. But, oh my gosh. Take that back. We're at, like, wait a minute. We're at like 2.7 billion jumps. My bad. This is exactly what I envisioned. We'll go back to one jump. It works. I am happy with this now. So we're going to add some extra code in there because Unreal Engine recommends it. So we're going to go look up a box collider. C++. There's an example that we can use on the box component if I bring this over. There's somewhere in here with C++. We're at 4.26. Can't use 4.27, unfortunately. It breaks things. I don't know what they changed to cause it to break, but it breaks stuff. So we can't use 4.27. But that's okay. Let's see here. There is a way to... we're going to go to this video. and I think there's a reference to it. Recommend this channel if you want to learn things about C++ and Unreal Engine. You can go here. Let's see. Does he have a link to the thing? No. Oh, what's this? Okay, no, that's not what I'm looking for. He does not have a link. Is that what I'm looking for? No, it's not. It does contain. I know it contains it. Okay, I am determined to find this now. On component begin overlap. That's what I'm looking for. We'll just Google that. This isn't the answer hub, but that's really not what we're looking for. We're looking for the documentation on it. No, the component. Okay. I know that there's an if statement that you should throw in there. But this is not what I'm looking for. Not like it really matters. This works just fine. It's like if we do like there's an if statement, so it's like if something like overlapped component equals other or something like that. I just don't know. I'm gonna check the video because I know it's in there. Not there. We're gonna go back to here. We're actually gonna just go entirely back to YouTube. Or not. Oh, okay. Let's just go back to here. We're actually gonna just go back entirely to YouTube in its entirety, and we are going to go to my history and find the video. There's an if statement.
By copying this, we can make sure signatures. That's one thing I wanted to do.
This is what I was looking for. If this doesn't work, it's not a big deal. But I guess this code here is what we're looking for. Just that. This string in the if statement. And then we can set that. Because it's like this is making sure that it's actually hitting something. So I'm going to pull this over into my second monitor. We're going to pull Visual Studio back up. And I'm going to just copy that in. Other is not equal to null pointer. And other is not equal to this, because you don't want it referring to the ball. And other component is not equal to null pointer. Open that up. We are going to set that in there, and this should still work. And then we can get rid of this this thing here. So that'll be good. Excellent. Let's go ahead and build. Compile our code real quick, and if everything goes smoothly, this should work properly. Should. It does. Look at that. Although I have seen something that is a bit concerning. Okay. Apparently, I have to test something real quick. You can jump apparently very high. As long as you're not able to, I mean, if you're able to jump over one wall, I guess that's fine, but I mean, that is a very high jump. I may want to tweak the force. So there should be something that can be reduced on the fly. We're going to drop this down to like 450 and test. And that is an acceptable jump. Okay, let's take this on to like a normal level here. We're going to go and do like, say, level 5. I just want to make 8. I want to make sure first off that we can clear these pitfalls, because that is very important that we are able to. Well, good to know that the ball is too wide to fall into that one. So can we? Oh, wait a minute. This should, right? These have overlap on them. Oh, these are not generating overlap events yet. Well, that's fine. We can, let's select everything. Just straight up. We're gonna go ahead and select that. Control select that. I still haven't gone through all the mazes yet and done this. I just want to make sure that we are selecting literally everything in the entire maze that is something that you can collide with. And we're going to turn on generate overlap events. We're going to save this and we're going to try this once more. And look at that, we are able to jump once more. So is this jump acceptable though? That's my first question. It is acceptable. But can I clear I need to make sure that you can actually clear a large gap, which from the looks of it, you can clear large gaps. Oh, this is going to make one of the challenges really hard. Oh, sweet. Okay, excellent. Okay. Cool. So we can clear large gaps. I'm going to need to... Oh, I guess I missed that when we were working on this last time around. That's fine. It's not like it's going to make that big of a difference. Even AAA titles have this problem. I'm looking at Destiny right now. And the raid. The new raid. Oh, I noticed some of the meshes overlapping. It's not I mean, I'll come back and fix that. That's fine. That's not a big deal if they're overlapping. I mean, this is just complete overlap. There's actually literally no reason to have that one in there, actually. So we'll build this. This isn't even on topic. This is just straight up. We just need to fix this. Okay. Well, now that that is fixed, we can get back to the ball. So I think 450 should be what we should be going for. Obviously, this is going to need a lot more testing anyway. I'm going to put a comment here reminding myself. Test. Impulse. Because it looks like if you do like one jump and then you do another jump rapidly, from the looks of it, it's looking like it causes you to like jump higher on the second jump. I think that's just because of momentum on the ball, which is fine as long as you're not able to like jump over entire sections of the maze. That wouldn't be good, obviously. So I'm gonna remind myself, test jump impulse later. There we go. And that's just a good reminder for me for later. Okay, this is working now, so this is great. We can get rid of this this text here, but actually I do want to test some other things real quick first. I want to make sure that this is actually going to pause. Actually, we'll test it on the gamepad because we're going to want to open a pause menu. I've never tried doing this in C++, so this will be fun. And it's probably going to require some bit of research. So we're going to go ahead. Ooh, whoops. What? I want to control S here. I want to control B. We're going to compile this real quick. I forgot to change this to say something. Pause. Menu. Exclamation point. Mark. Whatever. Control S. Control B again. Are we still building? Cancel. Build again. So we are gonna build that real quick. Whoops. Forgot to mute my TV. Now it's muted, but I dropped the remote. So I'm gonna grab that real quick. My bad. If you heard that, I am sorry. I'm just trying to be a game developer. Are we done yet? No, we're not done yet. Okay. All right. Cool. I just want to confirm that we can. I'm gonna turn on my controller. Got my controller here. The controller does work. It's not. I can't move the screen around yet. I have to figure that out later. But wow, that is a big jump. Like, I put it back to like 500 though, so it has big jump. But like, you're with enough effort, I think someone could get over the wall. But I don't think that's going to be adequate enough to actually like cheat the maze. So either way, I do want to make sure that oh, I forgot. I forgot that we need to probably restart the engine again because we're still getting the collision debug logs here, and as you can see here in the code, it's gone. So we're gonna have to restart the engine again. We're gonna go ahead and save all, exit, restart it up, look at my pretty background, and oh, this is actually sorry, not responding to chat, but how is C++ game dev to C#? So the languages are different, obviously. It's harder because it's easier to like break things, and when they break, it's like it's really broke. Like, we'll take my script here for example. It's more complicated here than if I were to do the same thing in like Unity. I'm sure I could write a script in Unity fairly quickly. But the difference between C# and C++ is mainly here we're dealing with pointers. So these are actually pointing to things that are in the spring arm like script, right? In the spring arm CPP file. And we're using pointers everywhere. You have to make a header file for the class. Well, not all classes require header files, but it's good to have header files. Otherwise, you're going to have to organize things differently. But you have to deal with header files, and it's just more complicated because you're dealing with pointers and stuff instead of just plopping things together like in C#. Granted, like C#, it's a little bit more in depth than that. Like if you obviously have had the knowledge of C++ with pointers and you know how references work, you would know that the same thing is really just going on in the background. but you don't really have to think about it. There's no garbage collection here, so you don't have, like, it's not going to free up memory when on its own, when it's not being used anymore. It'll just, you have to garbage collect yourself. There is no garbage collection. There is more control in C++. In terms of developing games, other than syntax, it's really not a big difference, gonna be honest. At least for me at the moment. That's probably gonna change. I'm kind of new to the Unreal Engine API. I've coded in C++ before. I know the differences between the languages. But as for, like, you know, distinct differences while coding for games, there isn't really much of a difference other than syntax and the fact that instead of using references, we're using pointers. Like here, we have a whole bunch of pointers pointing to things, and we're dereferencing stuff. It's just pointers. Typical pointer stuff. But yeah, other than that, it's really not that big of a difference. It's pretty much the same. You're developing game. That's what you do. If you're wanting to learn like Unreal Engine, though, it might be more complicated. Picking Unreal Engine up, learning C++ and the engine at the same time. I always suggest learning the programming language first before actually jumping into the engine. That way you have the reference. It's nice to have that, but you'd probably be fine. But strongly, if you want to hop into Unreal with C++, I strongly suggest you go and learn at least the basics of C++ first. So you'd probably want to cover up to like pointer. You want to definitely get to like pointers for sure. But yeah, I just want to make sure that this works here. So we're gonna go ahead. I spelled pause wrong. We're gonna go ahead and Control B that. Open the game back up here, and we're gonna hit the pause button, and look at that. We got, well, it's misspelled because it hasn't updated, but we are having pause menu or poos menu. Clearly I don't know how to spell, apparently. So now we just have to get the pause menu to open. How to open widget with C++. That's where we're going. With Blueprint, this is fairly easy. But it should be roughly the same process as what we handled in Blueprints. So in Blueprint, we would, for our ball, I just went back up a level. Whoops. I'm not working on those anymore. So for our ball, we'll just open up the default ball here. So for our ball, we would, in the event graph here, we would call this, and we check if the screen is shown. So we're probably going to want to make a variable, a bool checking if the screen is shown. This could be a private variable. In the class, we're going to check whether or not it is shown. And then we're going to want to create a widget. We're going to check if it was controller input or not. And determine whether or not we should show the mouse cursor. We're going to focus on the bottom one here first. This is what we're going to want to do. This is our goal. We're going to try to mimic this in C++. So, yeah. We're going to need to make a variable to house this. Is this being used anywhere? No, it's not. It's garbage. Well, it's all these old balls are going to be garbage. Anyway, this one's going to be garbage too. But we're going to try to mimic that kind of functionality onto C++. So first things first, we are going to make a private variable. I want to make it a bool is screen shown is false. It'll be false by default. And we'll make this extra one. Bool is controller input. We'll set that to false by default as well. And these are going to be our private variables that'll only be able to be seen in here. We don't need them elsewhere because we're just opening a menu, right? We just want to make sure that the screen is shown within this within this class. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. So with pause game, we are going to go ahead and go if is screen, not that, if is screen shown equals true or false. And then this is where our functionality goes. If it already is open, we can make it close the menu, which would be fine, right? That would make sense. But we could also make it not close the menu and have it just do nothing. That is a design standpoint that would be something to go over. Pointers in C, from what I understand, they're not much different, because C is pretty much similar to C. C++ is similar to C, so it's very similar unless you're using smart pointers. Smart pointers are different. As far as I know, in this project, I don't think we're using smart pointers unless it's baked into the Unreal Engine API. I don't even know. But pointers in C are in C++, at least C-based pointers, I guess in this case, are going to be the same in C++ as they are in C. Just the difference is if you're using smart pointers in C++, they're smart. That's the difference. I haven't done much coding in C, but I just know that no namespaces, no classes, and it's very fun. But yeah, I know that if you're using smart pointers, there is a difference, but otherwise they are not different by any means, because much of C is kind of built up from C. C++ is much of C++ is built up from C. There's that cross compatibility between the two. Although I do know that there are some differences between the languages. There's some things that exist in C that don't exist in C++ yet, apparently. A smart pointer, so like with a normal pointer, right, you pretty much have to do the like deallocating and stuff like that on your own with pointers. With smart pointers, they do it automatically pretty much. If you want to go check out a good video on it, go check out the Cherno, his video on smart pointers in C++. I'm sure he could explain it better than I can here, because his video is actually, like, I guess scripted, and this is kind of just off the cuff because it's just a stream. But I'm pretty sure the main difference is that they're smart, and you don't have to do things manually. Some of the functionality is just kind of built in. Otherwise, you would normally have to do some stuff on your own. Like I said, go check out the Cherno's video if you want to go learn about those in reference to C++. All right, let's see here. Now, I think I'm going to need, for this, I think I'm going to actually need a widget component. Let's see here. You know, I wish there was a way to throw chat up like above everything, but there's not. So if I don't respond to chat fast enough, I'm sorry. I have only 2 monitors. I wish I had a third. My desk is only so big. Okay. Let's see here. We're going to go and check out the Unreal Engine documentation. Widget. C++. I'm probably going to end up having to remake my graphics setting screen in C++ because the functionality just it's complicated. Okay, chat here is being I only really stream when I have free time in college, so I don't normally have a lot of time to stream. But I just sort of kind of do it when I can. I just got bored today. That's why I decided to do that. I didn't have much going on. I only had class earlier today. I have a class coming up here in a little while, but you know, I'm not terribly busy today. Let's see here. I'm not even sure like what to even. I don't want to create a widget using C++. I just want to pull up a widget using C++. I'll just spawn and create a widget. You know what? Opening a blueprint, widget blueprint. I already looked at this forum post. I have found a video on YouTube, and we're gonna try and see if this will help. My major is computer science with a focus on gaming technology. So it's a mixture of CS and game design, basically. It's more like CS with game design courses sprinkled on. That's what it is. Mainly CS. But like I've had to take like intro to game programming and some other courses that are basic level game development programs that covered Unity. I already had Unity knowledge prior to that. I can use both Unreal and Unity. I'm relatively comfortable in both engines. More comfortable in Unreal because I use it more. It's kind of with anything in life, the more that you do something, the more comfortable you are with it, right? It's kind of like, you know, anything in life. The more you use it, the more comfortable you are with it. But I could do just fine in Unity. I could make a game in Unity. I could probably make it a small game in an afternoon on Unity if I wanted to. I think my next game after this.
Hello friends, in this video we are going to learn how we can spawn a widget. So let's get started. Here you can see that I have opened a new scene or a new map, which
really the right choice for that. Let's see here. I don't want my my audio to come through here with this video. CIS and CS are pretty similar. There is, at least in the context of my university, the programs are incredibly similar. There's a lot of overlap between the two in terms of classes. Just the difference is that CIS students don't have math. They don't have to do as much math. I had to do a lot of math. I took Calc 1 through 3. Calc 3 wasn't required, but my major required Calc 1 and 2. Discrete math. We had to take statistics. And I also had Calc 3. I'd also like to learn some linear algebra at some point, which is like big boy math. That's really hard, apparently. Linear algebra is apparently one of the hardest forms of math, but I want to learn that so I can make my own game engine at some point. I'd like to make a custom game engine. And apparently to do cameras in a game engine, it requires like some pretty crazy linear algebra to do that. So I'd be doing actual math. But right now we're not worried about that. Right now we are worried about getting this widget to pop up on the screen. You know, a YouTube video is a good YouTube video, like for anything CS or computer related, when you have the Indian guy in the video, like just Indian accent. I'm not sure that this tutorial is helping. Honestly, you should be able to. I know there's a way to open a blueprint widget, because that's what my widgets are. They are blueprints. Like, they are blueprints. They're in the UI folder. Like, these are, well, the pause menu at least is, well, all of them are like blueprints, right? But I want to open, like, we'll take, for example, like the ball select screen here. It's blueprint, right? But I want to open it using this. I know I'm going to probably need a variable over here referencing it. Probably. See, my goal here is for like top level stuff, like UI systems and stuff that's not as intensive, to just be done in Blueprint. But stuff like, you know, controlling the ball, there's actually multiple reasons why I decided to do the ball the way that I'm doing it. one of which is to be able to reference it with enemy AI a lot easier than currently. But I just, man, this is... You know, I wasn't expecting there to be such a lack of resources for specifically what I'm looking for. Let's see here. What's funny is even Unreal Engine has a little bit of C# in it, which is pretty interesting, even though it's not coding in it. Yes, I have tried Google. I'm currently checking the forum right now, actually. Which was from, like, Google led me to the forum. Okay, so I think I found a solution. We are going to... I don't know if I want to throw it in public or protected. You know what? I think we should probably do something different, because it's probably pretty boring to watch me just stare at a screen trying to read something while doing this. Although this is an actual part of the development process. Like, this is something that every developer does, but something more fun would be, well, more fun. So, now that we have, I think, honestly, let's try to see if we can get this sprint working, at least at a basic level. Oh boy. All right, that is a pretty good coding joke. All right. Let's see here. We're going to try to at least get basic functionality to the sprint. So we have if can sprint to true. So we're going to need a sprint. So we have a sprint speed already. But I'd like to figure out what our actual movement speed is. to start with. And I know how movement is calculated. Whoops. Don't want to remove that curly brace there. So the way that it is calculated right now is simply just by adding force, right? And we should be able to get this this force. To at least put it onto the screen, right? We can figure this out. And then we could probably do where sprint is a multiplier. So maybe instead of a sprint speed, it's like a 1.2 multiplier on the speed for 5 seconds or something like that, right? That sounds good to me. So we could probably do that. So on can the sprint, I want, so we can choose a couple things here. We can simply modify the ball speed, which is probably gonna be better. So I think we're gonna take sprint speed here, and we're gonna name this sprint multiplier. Probably spelled that wrong, but that's okay. It's not going to be 100. It's going to be 1.2. We're going to go ahead down here. And I just want to be able to simply see if this is going to make me move faster. So if can sprint is equal to true, we're going to go ahead and set the ball speed for now to, we're going to do times equals sprint multiplier. Build this and not open up a new file. And when I hit the sprint button, when I enable it on the blueprint, probably gonna need to restart the engine again. Ooh. What do we got here? Oh. Whoops. Forgot the double equal sign. That's okay. Little things like that happen once in a while. We're going to go ahead and we're going to save all real quick, and I want to restart this to fix everything. And make sure everything's all working correctly. Up. And we're going to open these back up once more. Get rid of that for now. And we should be able to sprint, assuming it's true. So we'll go to our blueprint here and we will enable the sprint, and the sprint multiplier is at 1.2. So this should move 20%. I want to say about 20% faster. We'll find out. So we are indeed moving faster. So here is our normal movement speed, and if we click the sprint speed, it is now faster. Now we just need to time it. I'm pretty sure that's probably done with an enumerator, but we'll find out. Maybe Unreal Engine has its own little timer. Because what we're going to want to do is, while it's counting down, right? So for example, we could have like and you know, time is greater than 0, right? We could do that, and then we can have like an else if statement or something to reset it back, or just generally after this, right? We can just set it back to 1. And we could do that just by simply either just getting the ball speed, the baseball ball speed, or we can divide it by the amount that our sprint multiplier. That should put us back to where we were, if I'm correct. So if we go like 500 times 1.2, right? Yeah, we will be able to divide off when we're done sprinting our sprint multiplier, and that'll put us back at our original ball speed instead of allocating an extra float to do ball speed. That would be kind of stupid. So so most of the levels are by this point are handmade. There's currently 30, but there's going to be 50 on release and 20 challenges. So, but the newer ones, like the one that I have here, this is the base kind of level. This is where all the levels are made, and then I save them to their own level. And this is procedural. So I can change the seed to like 57, and that'll change the maze up, and I could add the other stuff later, like my you know, my spikes and my spiky walls. You can toss those in, and same thing with the blue no collision walls. You can just toss those in, and the maze is pretty much already made for me. And I could also increase the size at will. So if I want to say make it a width of, you know, a width of 16, I totally can, or a height of 16. Currently they're 15 by 15. So we can go 16, and that'll add like another whole section of the maze, and it'll make it bigger. We can make it like 25, and it will be like very wide. You'll have a bigger maze and more work for me to do. But currently the size is 15. I think 15 is a solid. They're going to increase in size the later levels, but for where we're at, 15 is fine. So, and this is all done in Blueprint. If I could refactor this down into C++, I would, but I think that's complicated. And this is from an asset that I bought on the asset store anyway. And this is very complicated. There's a lot of different functions that are here. So, but it's a good asset though if you're wanting to make mazes rapidly. I would strongly suggest it. I don't think it's supported on the newest version of Unreal Engine though. We can open up the Epic Game Launcher and find out. I guess I got logged out, and I'm not going to log back in right now. But yeah, the mazes themselves are procedurally created, but the items that are in them, so if I were to show off like maze 25, right, we'll go 25, we'll save this. Weird lighting issue. These are all placed down manually. If I had it my way, these would be procedurally also generated, but I haven't gotten around to implementing that, and I'd have to modify the asset, which I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because it'll be a pain in the butt, but I don't know. We'll see when I get to that point. We'll see if I decide to do that at some point in the future. And then I'll fix my lighting issue over there. Hey, look at that. Lighting issue's fixed as soon as Those go away. Lighting issue is fixed. We'll save that. So yeah. Back to timer. This isn't looking like it'll be too terrible. See, the problem here is many of these tutorials are in blueprints, which most people use blueprints, but I mean, like for a basic, hobbyist, blueprints is fine, but C++ is probably used by people that are actually more into this, but So we're going to need a timer handle. We could probably be fine putting that into the private section here. So we're going to go grab F, timer, handle. We're going to just say we're going to call it timer handle. We're going to need to include timer manager. We'll go ahead and build this real quick just to make sure everything's functioning. Oh, .h. Forgot my .h. Try to build this one more time. And this should work this time, I hope. Looks like that worked. See, most of the tutorials here are covering repeating a function over and over and over again, which is not something I want to do. I just want this to kind of just be exclusive for this function. Or I can make a function called delay. But I don't know if I want to do that. I'm sure there's a way to do this without calling a function over and over again. So we're not going to try it. We're not going to try that. At least I don't want to. Well, that's useful if I want to call a function over again. Can I have a trigger to call the function? I mean, I just want a delay for this sprint here, right? Because being able to sprint, I want to be able to sprint for, say, 5 seconds, and then there'd be a 10-second delay in between, right? This should only be working while you are able to sprint. That's why what this can't sprint here is for. I could probably have a separate function to disable this for 10 seconds and then re-enable it. But as for setting the ball doing the sprint multiplier would be a bit different. So, and it's going to be the same thing for, say, like double jumping and stuff too. But maybe I should not try to put as much functionality as I'm trying to put into this class. I should probably have just something inherit from this. Which is totally possible. But I think I'm going to have to end this stream here, though, because I have to go get ready for class. So, with that being said, thank you for joining me on this stream. I'm going to be probably streaming again sometime soon, again, at some point. Yeah, so thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video, whatever comes first, honestly. I don't know. I'm pretty sure by the next time I do a stream, this will probably all be handled. But I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Have a great day, and peace out.